Hello, ladies. I hope you're doing good. Hi, Lianka. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Karen. Hi, Elaine. Glad you made it. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Lydia. So, if you notice, I put on the screen right there in that corner an actual raven skull. One thing that you have to keep in mind, even if I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than I would normally make, hi Renee, it's going to be smaller than a raven skull, because I don't know how many of you have seen a raven close up and personal, but ravens are fairly big birds. They're about the size of a, well, not a bantam, but a regular chicken. Hi, Janine. So their skull would be about, to have a, their skull would be about 6 inches, if not longer. But we are going to make something that's about 3 inches. I mean, the whole, did I say hi, Carlene? The whole idea of the raven skull for Halloween jewelry. And you can make it even smaller, and you can make yourself earrings. And what I promised is to show you how to make one without using a mold. Hi, Elizabeth. So we are going to start. I have here some white clay Premo, in which I mixed a little bit of, about a quarter of translucent. And it doesn't matter what kind of translucent. The regular one is just fine. So, as you can see, this is approximately 3.5 by 3 approximately. So it's not, remember that I'm not really a stickler to precise things unless they are absolutely necessary. But in most cases, you don't need to be so, oh, this has to be 1 inch and this has to go 2 millimeters to the right. Not necessarily. When it's necessary, I tell you. So what I'm going to do first is to make a bead, a big bead, obviously. And I'm going to try and make as much to avoid, I'm going to go like this to avoid incorporating air bubbles. And you want your clay to be very well conditioned. And I'm going to make the bead, roll it in my hands outside of the camera view because I don't have room. I've set the camera to go really close. Thank you. So we first are going to make a bead and roll it until there's no more folding lines. And I can go on the, my hands are rather weak, so you know that sometimes I have issues. Especially with something as big as this. I still have a few folding lines. So I'm first going to go like this to make sure I have no folding lines, and then I'm going to go round. Okay, and once we have a round bead, and again, it doesn't have to be an absolutely perfect sphere, as much as you can. Once you have a round bead, you start making it tear shaped. And for that, remember, for tear shaping, you hold like this and you gently start rolling. You can even pinch a little bit when it's big like this. Oops. See, that's what I'm worried about, messing the camera up. And you want to go not like a regular tear, But once you get to about this size, you want to start putting the tip of the tear under the edge of your palms and keep going, pushing it down. See, because we are starting to get something like this, and I'm going to do it again away from the camera. So this is a pretty good, it's about having about 1/3 for the round part and about 2/3 for the big part. Now once you do this, you want to gently flatten the tip against the tile, so, and then also a little bit this way and a little bit down, so you'll have something like this, right? Then the other thing you need to do is to get it a little bit over like this, and then keep pinching all the way to here. You don't want it to go too arched like this, because it's not a parrot, okay? But it needs to be a little bit arched, and you want the tip to be very sharp. So at one point you can even cut a little bit just to give it the super pointy tip without having to extend the beak too much. I'm going to cut from both sides a little bit, and then gently with your fingertips do this. So you have one line here, one line here, and one line here. You want to be nicely nice and smooth. So something like this. Okay, the next thing is to make the holes. Hi Kim. Oh, it's just honestly what I did to come up, and usually what I do to come up with Halloween ideas. You can go on Google and search Halloween imagery or Halloween jewelry, and you just look through images, and it's not about copying something, it's about inspiring yourself. As I said, never try to copy something exactly how it is, but when I was looking, it was one of those plain Halloween photo thingies with the house, you know, night, moon, bats, then the tree branches, dead tree shades, and a skull, kind of like in first close up. And then you know how you would get related to when you click on a photo, it goes to the right. If you go on a desktop on a PC, it goes to the right, enlarged, and then underneath it Google shows you all kinds of other photos that are related. And I guess because that photo had a skull in it, among the related photos was a 3D printed imagery of a skull with like gemstones in as eyes, and on the top of it was a raven trying to pluck one of the gemstones out, and the sculpture was called The Thief. And I was like, raven, yeah, that works, let's do a raven. Okay, so this was my thought process. All right, now the next thing, if you notice right here, right, we have, and you don't have to go very, very detailed. Excuse me, you don't have to go very, very detailed, but there are two big holes, and it is also up to you to decide if you want to get whatever leather strip or whatever you want to use to hang it, if you want it to go through the eyes or if you want to do an extra hole. But what we need to observe is, let me actually just get a toothpick because it's easier to, it's something that everybody has, and I'm not gonna continue with refining this until after I'm completely done. So I'm going to have one eye here and one eye here, and then one nostril here and one nostril here. So here at this point you can use an X-Acto knife, you can use a sculpting tool, it's entirely up to you what you want to use. But as you can see, we will kind of have to carve that a little bit. So I'm going to go with an approximate circle and do a carving going, you know, like a cone. So I'm getting this, and I'm going to go with the other one the same, and make sure that it is on the same, look from above and compare to the middle here. Okay, so this one I put the toothpick a little bit too close, so this will be about like this. So I can go in and carve. This will be the other one, and that one seems to be a little bit larger, so let me carve some more. All right, so I have, this is the rough example. Then you can grab a ball stylus, let me hold it with another ball stylus on this side. What the heck? So I'm carving with the right one, right? I mean, not carving, but making the hole more roundish. So there we go. And then I'm going to hold on this one. Because you want these to be nice and fairly deep and nicely done. Now, to give it an extra element of it looking more like a replica, gently bring some of the clay over and you can use your X-Acto knife to make it nice and even here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Usually bones are friable and some pieces may be lost, but, and then gently twist, and there we go, we have a nice eye thingy. You don't have to go all the way through, unless you go, hi, thank you. And you don't have to go all the way unless you decide to hang it by this, and then you can go all the way. So let's do here the same thing. So first place the ball stylus, go in and bring a little bit of the clay over, and then push a little back to obtain a nice straight, as much as possible, ridge, and straighten it up with the ball stylus. And then I'm going to show you a trick after we do the nostrils. So first of all, here you want to go with your finger like this, and again with your finger like this. If these get a little bit messed up, that's fine, you can get them back into place, but we know what we are going to do here. So let's go ahead and do the scooping out of the nostrils. Notice that I'm holding it like this so I don't and I want a little bit more oval. And again, I'm looking from above when drawing the other one, so they would be fairly even. And now I can scoop the other one. And there we go. And I'll do the same exact thing, only you're going to use a little bit smaller. Yes, that is perfect. A little bit smaller ball styluses. So, oops, excuse me. So this is just to start with, because we are going to work a little bit more on these nostril thingies. Alright, so I have the nostrils semi-carved. And you can go through if you want, if you're sure of yourself not messing up, but I'm not even going to bother because I'm going to give the illusion of depth here. Okay, let's get back onto making sure that these are nice and straight. And then comes the most interesting part, the end picking. Don't forget to have this sagittal crest here. And now I'm going to show you the little trick to weather down the skull. Okay, what I'm going to do, oh yes, it would do a nice thing. Now what I'm going to do is to get the hair. If I can separate it and get it. Okay, this is a little hard. You know what, let me just do this. I have a very feisty ear. when I want it. When I don't, there's gonna be hairs all over the place. I got one. Okay, so it's not going to make a lot of sense to you, but start kind of placing it randomly and gently pushing it in place over the clay. And you will see the effect here in a little bit when I start antiquing. So you don't have to do a lot of that. You need to go a little bit roundish. Alrighty. So we are pretty good at this point. And for the next step, I'm going to use chalk pastels. Okay. And there we go, so I can scrape it. Yeah, no, Finnegan's hair is a little bit too fine to use for this. You need human hair. Finnegan hair would be fine for making doll hair, but it's excellent for felting. Alrighty, so I'm going to use first a black. Obviously, we need a black. Where's my... Okay. And with the black, I'm going to color the inside of, mainly the inside of the orbits and of the nostrils. Just make sure that you keep the the hand you're holding the skull with clean. So clean your fingers. Oh, come on, I need to refill this. Clean your fingers each time after you scrape. Okay, so I'm going to use a paintbrush. There's a Finnegan here, right where you don't expect it to be. And on the other side. That's why I said don't be too worried about how you do the inside, because it will be barely visible because of all this. Okay, I am going to use more of the black here in a little bit, but for now, let me clean my paintbrush. For now, I'm going to grab a brown, and it's a brown, not a cinnamon, it's a darkish brown. And again, I'm cleaning my fingers, and oops, I did a boo-boo, but that's okay. And then I'm going to start applying the brown all over the skull. Don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. Can you make the beak lines? Yes, you can, obviously. But what I'm showing you is a simple version that wouldn't require a lot of work. I'm not going to insist a lot on the beak because that's where we go with black again. Yeah, in a little bit. Oops. So we got this for now. Cool. I wish I could go camping. I envy you. Okay, then I'm going to grab some tape. I'm trying to rip it away from the microphone because I don't want to assassinate your ears. And you want to nicely clean as much as you can from the top part of the skull. And that's where you're going to see all kinds. I'll show you a close-up like I usually do, but you'll see all kinds of little lines, very fine lines from the hair. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying nostrils because not a lot of people know ears. So ravens are very, very smart animals. You know, there have been a lot, and crows too. There have been a lot of experiments done, and they can solve puzzles, and of course they talk. At this point you want to be very delicate because you don't want to mess up the orbital arch. But at the same time you want to take off as much as you can from that brown thing. And you can actually use a piece of a paper towel with a little bit of alcohol on it and rub very gently. But it's going to look like old bone. So the hair thing will look like little fractures in the skull. want it even a tad whiter, just a pinch. In certain areas. And there we go. And now for the final thing, if you want to make it more Halloweenish, remember it has to be very sharp. If you want to make it more Halloweenish, we gotta make the tip of the beak black. Of course, you can leave it like this if you want, but it's just an extra touch. More Halloweenish touch. Another thing that I want to tell you, you can, obviously you can, if you want to go through when it's raw, but I always recommend to put one of those screw-in eye screw bales, because it makes things look much better. And there we go. Wasn't too hard, was it? I do not recommend that you varnish it, at least not with a with a shiny. I was reading 5-year-old and I said 5, and not with a shiny varnish, but generally speaking, you see it looks like a skull. You cannot really see that those holes are not all the way through, and it's easy to make. Again, I would put one of those eye screw bales in here, and there we go. Not a big deal, huh? So it didn't even take me an hour to do all this. I know you're used for me to do stuff for a whole hour, but not this time. I promise you I will do my best to put at least a couple pre-recorded tutorials. And as I was saying, you can make, if you want, you can make a very slight line here for the line of the beak. If you want. But as I was saying about see how it looks, let me refocus, because I said I was going to show you, oops, not filters, I was going to show you how the hair thing works. Hey, I keep losing my stuff here. You can always use Renaissance wax. Okay, now you can see what I was talking about, the little fractures, and make it look like a real bone. And those are done with hair. You can actually do it beforehand, once you start after you do the teardrop in. I don't know how to call it otherwise, but you can do the hair thing then. You don't have to wait until the very end. So you saw this took me actually half an hour, so it should be relatively, even if it takes you an hour, because I think that it does require you to have bold styluses, but you can use various, especially if you make it a little bit smaller, You can use ends of paintbrush handles. You can use like this one if you make it bigger. You can use all kinds of things. I mean, even this, like you see from a Sharpie, you can use the end to round up things. I've been saying over and over, you don't necessarily need tons of expensive stuff. I have things that you have to think that this is the 5th year on my channel, how time goes by. And not only I had time to get them, but yes, I'm glad. But you had a good idea with the violet, Kim. You need to send me photos of the new ones. But also I had, there were a couple ladies who, for various reasons, health and other reasons, they couldn't do polymer clay anymore, so they sent me their stuff. And whenever I had doubles of stuff, I always contacted mostly local crafters, but also from other states that did not have this, that, on the other, and I've always shared, and you all know that I always share what I get. So yeah, I'm not sure next oh yeah, I said that next Sunday I'll show you. I did add them in the Amazon influencer store, so let me put again the link up here, and you find it on my website, you find it on the Facebook channel, you find it on my channel if you click the about link, about tab on my channel. But let me get it again here. And I did add the molds, so let's go real quick. Number one, let me remove the image. So I added in molds for polymer clay, and go all the way to the bottom. I added number one, I did find some more cats and dragons stuff, but all the way to the bottom I added Halloween things. This one, and I showed one time with this one. And next, and I also added some for resin molds. Again, if you go all the way to the bottom, because I can, you know how I'm a little OCD about organizing stuff. See, I got some even for resin, but we will do next time all kinds of easy to do things using molds, stuff that if you have any kind of venue you want to vend at before Halloween, or you want to put some stuff up for Halloween. And also don't forget that let me go again and try and find it. If you go to my channel and okay, let me go again to display. If you go to my channel and you click on playlists, you will find Halloween, as I said, and I forgot, I need to add more stuff. See, that's Halloween projects, and you can find all kinds of things here. And there are some pre-recorded uploaded tutorials, and some former lives. But when I did I need to add some more, because I did some kawaii things And let me see. There you go. How to make kawaii Halloween beads. I need to add these, and kawaii little witch earrings. And this was for, but if I go to this one, I want to watch it, and I want to go to the end here. If YouTube will allow me to. Because I showed how to make all kinds of a ghost, let me see, a mummy, a pumpkin, and I know that at one point I did the candy corn stuff. I'm trying to get to the very end, I'm showing them in more close-up. See a cat, and as I said, I know that at one point I did candy cane. I'll just have to find it. So anyway, we are going to do, and black candle prop, yeah, that would be, well, I don't know, I have this, set, so it all depends on how big you make the thing. So I used for the eyes, it's the next to biggest, and for the nostrils I use the third biggest. See? So I have this 4 set, and then I have a set of 3 of these, because this one doesn't go as small as this one goes. Some of this one are the same as the other one, but this one doesn't go as small as this, and this actually somebody sent them to me. I had these, but anyway, I hope you will have fun making some of these and selling them. You can make, they are not as easy as if you had a mold, and I didn't really find a mold, but yeah, usually when before the pandemic, I would usually go at least, I would try to go every week, but at least every other week to the craft stores. And you know how both Hobby Lobby and Michael's have in the back the clearances? I would always look in those clearances to see if there's anything that I could find. Also, the Dollar Tree has a lot of cheap stuff that you can use, and even Family Dollar, and of course Walmart, but they don't have very specialized tools, so to speak. So I hope you enjoyed it, and you will try to make your own to sell or to wear or for your friends and family. And I will see you all next Sunday. Have a wonderful week to come. Bye.